Well, Dennis, welcome to our little abode here at Craft Expo
Thank you,
2012 or
Thank you.
myprintresource.com. How are things at Canon these days?
Well, things are very good at Canon. Of course, as I'm sure you know, a couple of years ago, Canon made the acquisition of OSE, and since that time, as an organization, we've really been working very diligently to put the two organizations together. And we think that over the last several years, we've really been able to make some significant progress in doing so, and really position Canon as a much stronger player in the production print marketplace. As a result of the technology that we were able to bring to the table as part of the OSE acquisition several years back. So that's been certainly a big plus for us.
Your position with Canon is pretty well focused into software and solutions and these sorts of things.
Sure.
How can you keep up with the ever evolving situation?
Yeah, that's always a challenge. I think though, Canon, of course, historically has been well renowned for its research and development,
right,
and the amount of dollars that we invest in that activity. As a company, we continually invest anywhere from 8 to 10% in R&D on an annual basis, and so that research and development is not only focused on driving engine technology to market, which of course we're well known for, but is also very much focused on software technology,
sure,
systems integration, and connectivity as well. So because of the amount we spend, we have been very successful in being able to kind of keep up with the changes in the marketplace and bring net new value-added capabilities to the market and to customers, particularly in the area of software.
Any particular innovations that you're keying on at the show?
Yeah, I think, well, when you look at the show, the show this year, I think, is interesting in the sense that there are kind of a couple things that we're seeing happening in the marketplace, and of course we're trying to demonstrate to customers our ability to address those market changes. One would be that the shift we're seeing in terms of printers migrating from traditional print providers to what you might term more of marketing service providers. So, they're trying to get much more tightly integrated with their customers and help their customers in driving their business. And of course, from a vendor perspective, we then need to provide printers with the tools to be able to do that. So that's certainly one of the changes we see, and many of the things that we're demonstrating at this year's Craft Expo are really designed to help print providers make that transition. The second big thing we're seeing in the marketplace, though, is a focus around automation. So for years, I think you'd find that the printing industry was probably one that really relied a lot upon manual processes to drive output, which then, of course, became the product that was being sold to their client base. But I think what we're finding now is that the economics over the last several years, quite frankly, have forced printers to think about, well, how do they do things differently in terms of running their business? And clearly one way of doing that, in addition to trying to become marketing service providers, is looking at the process and the workflow associated with how they actually drive output and trying to find ways of really streamlining those processes and cutting costs and expense out of the process as a way to drive more profitability in their businesses. And so I think what you find as a result is there's a shift not only in terms of looking at end-to-end workflow. So for example, what may have been print output in the past that was taken off the device and taken to offline finishing technology, a lot of that now is starting to happen in line, and the software tools that are being designed today, and certainly the tools that we provide as a vendor, are being used to a large extent by printers as a way to automate that complete end-to-end process through and including finishing.
Well, as we know, everybody is
itself.
cost conscious with the economy being the way it is, and of course with operations as well. Is there any particular thing that you've heard attendees discuss as far as from the show or their standpoint of what they want to take away from the show?
Yeah, I think there are a few things. Most of them, though, are focused around not so much, well, what are the speeds and feeds associated with this piece of technology? Because, I mean, that's not quite as important, I think, as it used to be years ago. Much of the discussion is really around, how can the technology be used to enable the printer to be able to deliver a certain type of application or certain type of service to their client. So much of the conversation that we're having is very application focused in that respect. And again, printers looking at how do I take my current operation today, and if I haven't made the move into becoming more of a marketing services provider to the client, how do I do that? And if I have made that move, and quite frankly, many printers have started to make that transition. Again, they're starting to focus on how do I streamline my operation. So again, I can drive greater efficiencies, pull cost out of the production process that I have, and in doing so, drive greater value to my end client.
If I understand what you're saying is Canon can help a potential customer not only step by step, but take the big leap as well.
Yeah, in fact, if you look at what Canon brings to the marketplace, beyond the basics around hardware and software, which again I think speak for themselves, we're also driving programs that will help printers make those transitions. So, and those can be things as basic as, for example, our Essential Business Builder program, which is focused more around helping to educate printers in terms of market opportunities, up to and including services and professional services delivery, where we can actually go in and work with a printer, and in doing so, we can actually help them build the infrastructure necessary to streamline operations, cut cost out of the production process, and ultimately go after net new sources of business in the marketplace, as opposed to just the traditional printed page.
Dennis, I want to thank you for stopping by and
my pleasure.
talking with us today at
Appreciate
Craft Expo 2012.
Great, thank you so much.
Appreciate it.